Okay, I get it. So you got your passport in 2020, and either you've had it for mad long or you've been watching YouTubers pretty much review this phone in 2020 and talk about how good it is. So I'm going to talk about something different. All of my favorite apps that I use on a regular basis. Now, this is the Uber app, which you can use on the BlackBerry Passport. And pretty much, if you are somebody who is on the traveling a lot, just go to the BlackBerry market, and then all you have to do is pretty much go to the search bar, and then just type in the Uber, and then Uber 10 will basically pop up, and then you just download that, and you're good. The other thing I did was go into the Play Store, and I typed VideoTube Pro, and this is basically its own YouTube application, because when I tried to download the YouTube application, you need to get the right one for it to work on the passport. But I've actually found that this one actually works with you can minimize it while you're watching and still browse other videos. You might get a few ads popping up on the screen, but you can actually control the brightness by swiping up and down while you watch it, and control the volume on the screen as well. So it's actually pretty cool. It has some extra features to it, and you can actually do YouTube Live. So I remember, like, on the app that they provided on here, you couldn't watch YouTube Live, but whenever you see a live video, you can basically watch it through this application, which is pretty cool. I also do use the BBM services, which those work perfectly fine. You could do an encrypted private message, and it's actually pretty cool. One of the people on the Facebook group on Facebook put me onto this Amazon Kindle app for the BlackBerry. So big shout out to him. He knows who he is. I don't want to call him out like that, but he definitely led me to the right version, which is pretty cool. So you could basically read all your books. So I think this is cool because I definitely like to get my reading on, especially during quarantine, or anytime, basically, when I'm traveling or anything like that. You definitely have to have a book on hand, but the BlackBerry Passport is actually great for that because it's like that perfect size for reading books. Now this is the version, it's the 4.15.0.46, and it actually was working perfectly on the Android 4.3, which I have in my hand. The next app I want to show you is Y Music. Is basically like you can listen to anything on YouTube, such as music, podcasts, or pretty much videos, but it's audio only, so you won't get like a video. But all you have to do is type in the artist, and it gives you the audio, and then you could lock the screen and basically listen to like whole albums on this thing. So usually what I do is I type in like a podcast, or sometimes like I have something playing in the background while I'm walking, and I'll just lock the screen, and then I'll just like play some music or something on this thing. So it definitely comes in handy because everything's on it, because it's streamlined through YouTube, which is pretty crazy. So I definitely use this thing a ton. It's one of my favorite apps for the passport because it gives you the ability to listen to things on YouTube on the go, which is cool. Now this game right here called Frontline 2, I think it's called, is actually really cool. It's like actually like deathmatch, and I was playing that. It kind of reminds me of like Call of Duty, but actually it's called Standoff. My bad. This thing is called Standoff, but it kind of reminds me of like a bootleg Call of Duty, because this thing, you can't play Call of Duty on it, but this thing is like the closest thing to it. So I definitely think it was pretty cool because I was able to get my third person shooter on, which is pretty cool. So I also did get the Sonic game, which actually played really well on this device. It was actually like really good, the way the graphics looked. There's not any really jitters on this thing whatsoever, so I was pretty happy about that. The fact that this thing ran so smooth on this thing was really cool. It brought me back to like back in like the early 2000s, early 90s, mid 90s actually, when I used to play this thing on my Sega Genesis, Sega Game Gear, and I don't know if you guys remember those devices, but they were all pretty cool. Then we have Pandora right here, which is actually like I need this app. Well, I don't need it, but like it's a must-have app. So you get the Pandora one, which gives you the unlimited skips, and I'm gonna show you what version this one is in the bottom right hand corner. But I'm gonna zoom in so you can actually see that a little bit better. But that has a ton of stations. You could do unlimited skips. This thing has a really good speaker quality to it when you're listening to media or music on it. It's the 7.71 version, so as long as you get that version, you can download it to the Passport, the APK file, and everything like that. I also use Firefox to like browse social media, like Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. So those three I use Firefox for, and it seems to work perfectly fine altogether. So I had no issues whatsoever with that. But you can see everything's loading pretty nicely, and there's very few jitters with it, like compared to some other browsers that I've been using. I also do play Asphalt 8. So you could see on this thing, the graphics are actually pretty clean. It's actually a really smooth experience altogether, and I didn't really run into issues with like overheating or anything like that. This thing was actually a nice form factor. It was real smooth in the hand, and pretty responsive too. The gyroscope still works really well on this thing, so I was actually pretty surprised that this thing was a beast. They need to come out with a Passport 2 in 2020 or 2022 would be pretty cool. Maybe soon. It's long overdue. Also, this game NBA Stars, I think it's called, is actually pretty sick. You could either do one-on-one shooting, or you could like play somebody like one-on-one to the basket, which is kind of sick. But this is a really good game, time saver. It's actually you're playing somebody online, like actual real person, I think. So it's actually pretty competitive. This guy's pretty trash though, so I think it's a bot. But you also got Temple Run, which is one of my favorite games to play on this thing, which is pretty cool, and it actually plays like really good. It's not stuttering at all, and the graphics are holding up really well, and the frame rate is actually really smooth, which is surprising. So this thing was definitely ahead of its time. It comes with NFC on board, 1440x1440 display, really nice bright 2K panel, which is actually really nice, because you're gonna be able to watch videos in that 1440 mode and everything like that, which is like ultra HD. But you can see right here I'm in the Play Store, and this is one of my favorite games, Galaxy Sky Shooting. It brings me back to like back in the day when like these were like the best games like to possibly have on any device right here. Like if you had this game on your phone, you were pretty much good, because it was like a really good, it never got old and everything. And this is probably like one of the first games ever, like what is it called, Atari or something? But this isn't Atari. This is like a little bit better than that, a lot better than that actually. But it's like one of the first game concepts that actually like kind of went somewhere. But definitely got to say this thing has a lot of cool apps that I didn't mention, such as the Messenger Lite for Facebook, and also WhatsApp I have on here as well. So I use those two apps for like messaging and stuff like that. But let me know if you found this video helpful in any way possible. But it's your boy Serrano, and I appreciate you for watching. But if you found this helpful, hit the bell icon and also hit the like button to show your support and appreciation for the video. And make sure you check out more videos just like this. But in the meantime, I'll check you guys later. But have a great morning, afternoon, evening. And depending on where you are, just have a great night. Later, crew. Peace.